Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Village of Babylon Board of Trustees meeting for this evening, Tuesday, November 10th. If everyone can please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Dominic Bensavegna.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we start this meeting, I'd like to have a moment of silence for the memory of Mayor Scordino, please. Thank you all. Mrs. Parker, do we have any correspondence this evening?
We do not have any, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll get right into our resolutions. Resolved to approve the minutes of the October 27, 2020 regular meeting of the Board of Trustees and dispense with the reading of the same. Do I have a motion?
So
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Okay, we're going to get right into our resolutions. Trustee Tony DeVita.
thank you, Mayor. First, resolved to hire Kirkland Beckford as a part-time highway laborer with a salary of $10.50 per hour, effective August 31st, 2020.
Any comments? Do I have a second?
All right, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolved to issue refunds in the amount of indicated to the applicants listed on the attached chart for the return of ZBA signs for partial refunds. $50, 33 Cadman Avenue, $100, 180, 192, 198 Deer Park Avenue, $100, 100 Fire Island Avenue, $50, 345 Deer Park Avenue, and $50, 68 Araca Road, and $100, 33 Waterman Street.
Any comments? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolved to approve a petty cash allotment to the mayor's office, $50, effective November 10, 2020.
Any comments? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And last, resolved to approve the following warrant for November 10th, 2020. General account, $472,616.91. Conklin House, $1,488.12. Total general funds, $474,105.03, for a total of $474,105.03.
Do I have a second?
No discussion?
No, I'm sorry, any discussion? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. And that's all I have.
Okay. I'd like to take a moment to thank you, Trustee DeVita, for the wonderful job that, and the Babylon Fire Department, but you especially, and all your team for the Firematic Services for the mayor. It was moving, it was touching, and just another reason why we have, such a wonderful fire department here. So thank you so much for all that you did to make that happen.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Trustee Robin Silvestri.
Thank you, Mrs. Mayor. Resolved to hire Anthony Pittman as a part-time highway laborer with a salary of $10 per hour, effective September 21st, 2020.
Do we have any discussion on that? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolved that the Village of Babylon will hold an election on Tuesday, March 16th, 2021 for a mayor for 2 years to fill the unexpired term, and for 2 trustees and the village justice, each for a term of 4 years.
Do we have any discussion on that? No discussion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. And finally, resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Village of Babylon that retention and disposition schedule for New York Local Government Records LGS-1 issued pursuant to Article 57-A of the Arts and Cultural Affairs Law and containing legal minimum retention periods for local government records is hereby adopted for use by all officers in legally disposing of valueless records listed therein. Further resolved that in accordance with Article 57-A, only those records will be disposed of that are described in retention and disposition schedule for New York Local Government Records LGS-1 after they have met the minimum retention period described therein. And B, only those records will be disposed of that do not have sufficient administrative, fiscal, legal, or historical value to merit retention beyond established legal minimum periods.
Any discussion? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I just have to report in, Mrs. Mayor, that we have a couple of events coming up at the Conklin House. This is one of our busier seasons. This Sunday, November 15th, we are offering Santa Paws, so pictures for pets with Santa at the Conklin House out in the barn. We will be hosting the following weekend on November 22nd, Picture Perfect, which is family portraits in the house for local families as a fundraiser for the house. On December 3rd, we will be hosting the annual cookie contest, which with a total of 5 age categories. And of course, the special Conklin Challenge, which gets announced the Sunday before. It's a special ingredient that must be used in all recipes that are entered into that category. And finally, on Friday, December 4th, we will be having open house, so holiday tours of the house between 6 and 9 p.m. Reservations are required for those tours and can be made via Eventbrite.
Thank you. And I want to give you a shout out there too. The Conklin House has been pretty busy. I want to thank you for scheduling the meeting today with your steering committee. Those volunteers that you have are doing just an awesome job. And it's very hard to find that sometimes these days. I think Saturday evening with the s'mores and the Juliettes was just another example of how well the volunteers do and all the Conklin House means to us, as well as our Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. It was a wonderful night, and thank you very much for doing that, truly.
Thank you. We were very happy to continue Jack Conroy's tradition of thanking the Juliettes for their volunteer service throughout the year at the house. They help us out at many events with the campfire on Saturday evening. And we also would like to extend our gratitude to the highway and the fire department for helping us keep it safe. It was an enjoyable evening.
Yeah, it sure
Thank you.
was, especially your stories and the music, the songs. Trustee Dominic Bensavena.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Item number 4, resolve to accept the request of Jane Barth to retire from the Village of Babylon effective October 31, 2020.
Any discussion?
Just to wish Mrs. Barth a very happy retirement and to thank her very much and very gratefully for her years of service to the Village of Babylon. And she's a terrific neighbor as well.
I would like to second those. I would like to second those sentiments and wish Jane Barth a lovely retirement with her grandchildren and out on her bike. It's been a pleasure working with her. A very professional and a very kind soul. Very happy to have worked with her at the village.
Wonderful. Thank you all. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And she will be missed. And thanks, Jane, for everything that you've done over the years. That's for sure.
Item number 6, resolve that the Board of Trustees hereby acknowledges that pursuant to Section 2019-A of the Uniform Justice Court Act, the required 2019-2020 fiscal year, October 1, 2019 to September 30, 2020, audit of the Justice Court of the Incorporated Village of Babylon was performed by the certified public accounting firm of Skinnen and Favor on October 23rd, 2020.
Do we have any discussion on this resolution? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Madam Mayor, just a couple of quick things. We are
Sure.
coming up to the point in kind of mid-ish November where we're going to be turning the water off at the docks. Although if we keep getting 70-degree weekends, that may stretch a little bit. Really, we just have to wait till it starts getting cold consistently. We don't have a problem with the water lines. Also, December 1 begins our the winter season for boating. If somebody needs a dock slip to keep their boat in the water from December through March, please see Mrs. Parker in the village clerk's office. The golf course had a record weekend last weekend. It was fairly tremendous. And we will, again, keep that open as long as we can. At least, if we keep getting the weather that we've got, really the only question is when it starts to get very cold at night, you don't want to be putting people on the golf course very early in the morning because of the frost and that kind of thing. So, but the team over there, as always, is doing a fantastic job. And people, I know I've said this a couple of times already, but it really, it's gorgeous and people have been out there using it. We're up 53% from last year in terms of the rounds played, and that's opening in May, not March. So it has really been a very welcome refuge for people in our village. So that's all I have.
Great. And I want to thank you as well. I'm looking forward to meeting the golf committee tomorrow, the golf staff over there tomorrow with you after the sometime after the Veterans Parade. And I know you're working with Skip as well on the bulkheading and all down on Shore Road.
Absolutely. Yep.
So thank you for all your attention in that too, Dom. It's much appreciated. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
A few announcements. Village of Babylon offices will be closed and there will be no rubbish or garbage pickup tomorrow, Wednesday, November 11th, 2020. In observance of the Veterans Day holiday, just a reminder, residents should not put rubbish or recycling out to the curb on holidays. The American Legion Post 94 is hosting a veteran car parade tomorrow on Veterans Day, beginning at 10 o'clock a.m. at Foster Boulevard, down Deer Park Avenue to Main Street, Carl Avenue to Grove Place, where there will be services. We ask that all village residents, if they should decide to watch the car parade, to please practice social distance and wear your facial coverings. And one last note to our village residents and guests, a heartfelt thank you for all of your love and support during this difficult time as we continue to mourn the passing of our beloved Mayor Ralph A. Scordino. We continue with his vision and we honor his legacy. And please keep his family in your thoughts and prayers. And in the words of Mayor Scordino, as we end this meeting, please be that Babylon Village smart. Please continue to wear your facial coverings. Please continue to sanitize and of course, social distance when necessary. So thank you all very much this evening and enjoy your night. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Bye.
Aye.